Welcome back, everyone. Today I want to talk about the 90s boy band, the Lyte Funkie Ones, or LFO for short. They had hits like Summer Girls and Girl on TV, but they broke up once the boy band era came to a close. They had multiple attempts at reunions and comebacks, but was met with tragedy with two of their leading frontmen. Today, I'm going to go through this extremely sad and tragic tale of LFO. So yeah, without further ado, this is the tragedy of LFO, one of my saddest videos yet. Before we begin, if you want to see music bios or more good videos like this, hit the subscribe button. Also, I've started a Patreon account. On here you get more copyrighted material and they'll be uploaded 48 hours prior to YouTube. If you want to support or visit, link is in the description. And without further ado, on to our feature presentation. Our story begins with Rich Cronin. He was born on August 30th, 1974 in Roxbury, Massachusetts. After high school, he attended Bridgewater State College and held a part-time job at Blockbuster. During this time, he met Brad Fischetti and Brian Gillis, and they formed a group calling themselves the Lyte Funkie Ones, and was signed to the German label BMG. They recorded a few songs, one of them being Step by Step, which was a cover of the New Kids on the Block classic, but it never generated major European buzz. Frustrated, member Brian Gillis left the group to go solo, and after this, the remaining members went home. They needed to hit the reset button. First, they got discovered by manager and later hated figure in music Lou Pearlman. He already created major boy bands with the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and was wanting more. But the Funkie Ones needed to find another member, and that's when Harold Devin Lima entered the frame as he was a good singer. They entered Lou's boot camp in practicing choreography and singing 3-part harmony, but that wasn't their style. The Lyte Funkie Ones had a very laid-back approach which leaned more to hip-hop than pop, and thanks to Lou, they were able to land an American contract with Arista Records led by Clive Davis. Once on Arista, they started to work on their debut project, but unlike most boy bands, the Lyte Funkie Ones wrote most of their own music, and it showed. But one more thing needed to change. Devin felt like the Lyte Funkie One names were too long for a group, and they all came to an agreement to shorten it to simply LFO. But internationally, they'll still be known as the Lyte Funkie Ones, as there was already a group of the same name. But in August 1999, their self-titled debut album was released. The album was headlined by the song Summer Girls. The song was created as a demo and a fluke, and it showed. Instead of talking about summer girls, it made many 80s and 90s references and how they want their girls to wear Abercrombie & Fitch. The song became a summer earworm, peaking at number 3 on the Hot 100.
New kids on the block had a bunch of hits. Chinese food makes me sick.
The next single was Girl on TV, with Devin taking the lead. Rich Cronin wrote the song as inspiration with his girlfriend at the time named Jennifer Love Hewitt. The song reached number 10 on the Hot 100 as their debut album went platinum. Their next album was Life is Good, and it had one single called Every Other Time, and it reached number 44 on the Hot 100.
Sometimes it's black, sometimes it's white, sometimes she's wrong, sometimes I'm right, sometimes.
But the album itself wasn't successful as the boy band era was winding down. Once they realized this, LFO decided it was time to enter a hiatus, but the group was relieved that it was going into hiatus because, according to Brad, he felt like the group's cohesion was disintegrating, as the only time they tolerated each other was when they were on stage. After LFO, Rich started his own band, but it was unsuccessful. He then got into reality TV on the show Mission Man Band with Chris from NSYNC, Jeff from 98, and Brian Abrams from Color Me Bad. But in 2005, Rich was diagnosed with leukemia after complaining about constant headaches. He undergone chemotherapy and was in remission by the next year. And in 2008, he released his first solo album, $1 Billion Sound. Meanwhile, Devin released a cover song called If You Want Me to Stay, and thanks to this, he got to perform at the Grammys as a tribute to Sly and the Family Stone. Brad got religious and became a father to 5 kids, and started his own label, 111 Records. In 2009, LFO announced their return to music and embarked on a tour on Brad's dime, but he noticed that Rich was becoming more fatigued after each performance. After the reunion tour and Brad losing more money than gaining, the group decided to break up again. But in 2010, Rich leukemia has came back and he suffered a stroke. He recently underwent a stem cell treatment and was given medication to ease the pain, but on September 8, 2010, Rich Cronin died from a stroke related to his leukemia. He was only 36 years old. Although not a group, Brad and Devin kept a close relationship as Devin's been living with Brad on and off. But in 2017, Brad and Devin announced they were reuniting and going on tour, releasing a song called Perfect 10. The tour was successful and Brad started making plans for a second leg. But then Devin started to notice pain near his kidneys and was hospitalized. It was here where he found out that Devin was diagnosed with a rare form of adrenal cancer, stage 4. He had to get a kidney removed as a result. And 1 year later, in November 21st, 2018, Harold Devin Lima died from adrenal cancer. He was survived by his 6 children and he was only 41. The death of Devin devastated Brad, obviously. He underwent counseling and mental health evaluations, but was able to reach a level of acceptance. In 2019, O-Town, which was formerly managed by Rich's brother, Mike Cronin, reached out to Brad to join them on tour. Brad accepted and he called it an unfortunate honor. It was an honor for O-Town to reach out and tour with, but unfortunate that his bandmates Devin nor Rich will be there physically. But he realized that it will be an honor to preserve the legacies of both members. Fans asked if he could find 2 replacements for Brad and Devin, but Brad turned it down. And in 2023, one more death occurred. Former member Brian Gillis died on March 29, 2023. His cause of death was not made public, and he was only 47. Today, Brad, being the sole survivor of LFO, tours in the memory of his fallen members while still being faithful to his church. And that concludes the tragic story of LFO. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Rest in peace to Brian Gillis, Rich Cronin, and Devin Lima. And I'll see you next time.